We'll see what time it is.
We don't want to constrain that.
Yes, and we're testing that. And that's make sure
And then just get two cooks. We have, and in a short space of time, so there's much to be proud of and to celebrate. The state of play at the moment is that the weather, the monsoon in the Indian Ocean has severely constrained the pirates for about the last 6 weeks, but we have intelligence to suggest that they are starting to gear up. They have enhanced capabilities to start to attack merchant ships in both the Gulf of Aden and in the Somali Basin. We have a good force flow from Europe, and we have a increasing cooperation between the various partners acting in this area. So the story is a strong one, but the risk posed by the pirates is increasing as they become more professional and as they reinvest the very considerable sums of money that they are gaining from holding ships ransom to enhance their capabilities. So there is much to celebrate, but we are not in a position to be complacent if we are to keep a constraint on this threat in the medium-longer term. Well, I touched on our wider partnerships. The NATO and the Coalition Maritime Force are very complementary in what they do. They have slightly different missions, but that cooperation is enhancing all the time. And at the tactical level, just pragmatically, for example, the force commanders of each of those elements talk daily and at length to ensure that what they do is most effective. In some respects, this operation is an opportunity because China's engagement, and they have a very direct national interest in keeping this seaway open because much of their trade goes through it. They have engaged with international actors in a way that they haven't in the past. And so it has been a route for dialogue, which has broken down barriers and has fostered trust and understanding. And as an example of that, more recently they have shown an interest from October to start helping us to escort World Food Programme convoys, which is a huge breakthrough. And further, they've suggested that a brand new hospital ship, which they have recently constructed, may be placed to help us prosecute the humanitarian aspects of what we do in the region. So a strong story. There are dynamics with the those countries that work in what's called the SHADE mechanism, the shared awareness and deconfliction thing, between Russia and between China and India, which have to be sensitively handled. But it's a positive story. And the United Nations have put forward 5 options recently to try to identify a way of more swiftly processing people who are apprehended. The whole legal provision of arrest, whether it has to be done on the basis of actual piracy or conspiracy to commit piracy. And then indeed, if you are to deter, have any chance of deterring young Somali men from conducting these things which provide the opportunity for huge amounts of money which they wouldn't otherwise gain, then we have to have a quick way of prosecuting them and being seen to prosecute them. And I think this is a particular area of his interest. The proposals are complex. It seemed to me that the one that had the best chance of achieving some kind of solution to this issue in the time frame involved is one which envisages Somalia taking responsibility, a Somali court, but somewhere in the region, not necessarily in Somalia, with an idea of either Puntland or Somaliland in the longer term constructing a prison somewhere for these people then to be held. but according to international standards and respecting humanitarian rights.